I've tested a lot of mics, but this one actually shocked me. From clean car audio to gym workouts to podcast interviews, the Holland Lark M2 handled it all. Here are 7 reasons it might be the most versatile mic I've ever used. Let's jump right in. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is how the actual phone is going to sound with me driving in my car, and I am hands-free. So you can kind of, I guess, hear what this is coming from the phone. So now we're gonna switch over to the Holland Mark IIs. All right, we have the Hollands installed. So here's how it's gonna sound if you're gonna speak in your actual car. You're gonna speak about something you're going to vlog. So let's hop back to the normal, right? So let's press that button. Cool. And now let me do it with the windows down real quick. Okay, you can kind of hear that, and you can probably hear all of the cars. So now let me press on the noise cancellation. Okay, cool. So here's how it sounds with the noise cancellation on, if you can actually hear cars go by. So what is this guy doing? Really? Bro, just stop. Oh my gosh. All right, so here is what the iPhone 15 sounds like at the actual gym. I am on the Stairmaster. This thing sucks, but you have to do what you gotta do. But if you're gonna do a vlog of some sort, you're gonna speak to whoever at the gym, this is what it's gonna sound like, and you can hear all of what's going on. You can hear the echo, all the extra stuff. But yeah, let's hop over to what the Holland Mark II sounds like. And here's what it sounds like when you're at the gym, if you wanted to use something like this in the gym. And again, guys, I am sweating, so I don't want to put this on my actual skin because that's gross. So it does have certain things that you can clip onto your actual shirt, but let's change it to the non-noise reduction option. Okay, cool. Now you are hearing it with just, it without the noise reduction option. And you guys, this is so much better than the actual iPhone itself because, it sounds bad. So here is how it sounds with it off. So this is the sound coming from the iPhone 15 Pro Max. As you can hear the cars zoom by, and I'm pretty sure you can barely hear me. Sheesh, that one was loud. So here is what the Holland Mark II sounds like. All right, you guys, so here I have the Holland Mark II. I am by I would say a loud four-way intersection coming right off of the freeway. You guys, it is loud right here. So, if you want to get something of this sort, only because it's going to sound crispy. So now we're gonna change the actual the Holland to the noise reduction and see what we got. All right, it just switched over. So as you can kind of hear, you guys, it is loud right here. It is no joke. Right now, you can actually hear it on the side of this right here. So this is an MV7 Plus, which is plugged in USB-C, but with this one right here, you have your options, right? So right now it is green, so it's on the noise reduction. So as you are going to speak into it, if something happens with the mic you are going to use, this is going to be a backup recording. So it was green, so now I'm going to switch it to blue. Okay, cool. It is blue now. So, as you're like at home or doing something like this, we are in an okay sound room. So, if you're going to speak on something, this is how it's going to sound hooked up to something of this sort as, you're speaking, and let's just say you're on for a long time and you're like, the mic was unplugged or something of that sort. That is why it's smart to do test recordings because, and This is the voice with the Shure MV7 Plus via USB-C into an iPhone 15 Plus. This Holland right here is going into an iPhone 16 Plus. This is what it sounds like with the Holland Mark II as you are going to speak onto something, or in, some cases you're going to speak onto something. And this is what it sounds like in the Shure MV7 Plus. So you can kind of get a certain, I'd say, hear what the changes if you want to spend, how much this is. So this Shure MV7 Plus is $299 plus tax and all that kind of stuff. And this is, I believe, about 100 USD. So it all depends. If you want something like this, the Holland Mark II or the Shure MV7 Plus. And let's actually change it back to the blue mode and hear how that actually sounds. And let's do one more test. And this is the Shure MV7 Plus, so you can kind of hear what the changes. And right here is the K688 from Fifine. And it's cool because right now I am in OBS Studio. So this is what you use to, if you're doing something on that, you could screen record and have audio in at the same time. So guys, it sounds good. And I'm speaking into it right now. So you don't have to have a mic you're speaking into and all that stuff there. So it's going straight into the computer, as you can see right here. And it's cool because, if you don't want this sound right here, you can come up to filters and add in a 3-band equalizer. So I'm going to add that in right now as I'm speaking, and you can probably hear that change a bit, right? And all the options there. And I'm going to switch over to the noise cancellation option, and I want to see if that changed anything, because on OBS as well, you could actually add that in, because if you have the AC on or you're doing something like that. So let's add in noise suppression there. And we're going to use RN and noise. You have your options for speaks. Let's use that suppression level, all that stuff. I don't use this one. I use RN and noise. So here's what it sounds like with it on. And here's what it sounds like with it off. So you have your options there as well, which is very, very cool. And guys, I am hands-free. I don't have a mic in the way. I could actually get up and do stuff like if you're on a call of some sort. Here we are on a call, you guys. This is legit, because as you're on like a call, right, you can be like, oh, hey guys, and guys, it sounds good. And I am on the green option right now. So let's actually come over here and we're going to press the blue and see what that did. Okay, cool. And we are still hooked in to the computer via USB-C, if you can see this. And this option is only with the combo pack, right? So if you are on screen or XYZ and you have to get up to speak to people, right? Let me take the headphones off. You're over here, right? And be like, oh yeah, hey guys, hope you're doing great. Or you're like on a podcast of some sort. Guys, this is legit because you can still hear me. With a mic, you would have to hold a mic like this and be like, okay, cool, all the stuff. You could hook this up to a mic and act as if you're speaking to it. Like you can actually take off the pop filter and it should go onto that, but and act as if you are speaking into a mic, which is legit. And then here we are in this option. This is riverside.fm, and you guys, this is one more option. You could actually use something like this on there, and you are good to go. And again, I am still plugged into the computer, which is legit. But if you want really good audio, I'm gonna hook this up into the Rodecaster Pro 2 and see what options we got from there. I have it plugged in to a Rodecaster Pro 2. So as you can see here, it's cool. So it is recording. So you are going to hear it from this right here. So if you want to use something like this, this is how it's going to sound. So I have this up and we're just going to come up here and I have it through the instrument. So I have it plugged in to piece 1 there, right? And I'm at about 40 dB right here. And then, so I have it all off. I have all the presets and all that kind of stuff off. So we're just going to go up to the presets. And here we are. We're going to go do the neutral option. Okay, cool. and we're gonna do the podcast studio, and that actually sounds pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And then we have the broadcast option. But it's cool because if you guys look right here on this, it has been blue the whole time. So let's turn it off to this. Okay, cool. It sounds very, very good. I'm not sure if you all were aware, but you can have this into two different cameras, as in you have one going to each phone, as in you'll have two audio tracks, which is ideal if you're going to do a podcast. So I am blue right now. So if you look right here, this one is green right here. So that is not going to show up. But this one over here, this one is blue. That is crazy on that rag. I do have that for that dry erase stuff. Yeah, that's gross. So, you know, blue right there, and again, green. So let me swap over the mics. And as you can see here, this is green right here. And again, I'm going to speak into the actual mic here. That is green, and this is blue right here. So this is legit, you guys. Two separate tracks for this whole kit right here, because if you guys look, I have that one in there. This is one's for a USB-C iPhone 15 and newer, and that one is an iPhone 14 right there. So if you have two phones of some sort, you could use these for two different tracks. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But I would say find what works for you. I hope this helps out. I will put these videos up on the screen. It's gonna help you a little bit more with the content creation. Have a good day.